I don't know what's happened to me this quarantine, but I'm exploring all different parts of my house, and somehow I like moving the furniture, sectional furniture around and getting in a little tiny space.
Yeah. So show us your purple hair.
It was a big letdown. It's not you. I think it just looks more brown. It doesn't look. Looks more of like a dirty gray.
Oh,
Yeah.
feels like a rotten like blueberry or something.
Rotten blueberry.
Something rotten.
Can you try again? Can you like try the purple again?
I think I'm just gonna try a stripe of it next time and see what the difference is. Probably would have been good to try it that way first.
Cool.
Oh, what a bummer.
Still, it's subtle. It's cute. What look you were going for, but it's still.
It's too subtle, and it just looks dirty.
Was it overtone that you tried?
Yeah, it was overtone. But I tried the lavender, and I think it was just too late. I think if I tried regular purple, it would have been. But somebody in my like going gray group, their hair was so beautiful, and they used it. But surely her hair must have been almost white underneath, and mine still got a lot of brown in it, I guess.
Did you try the one for dark hair? Do they have purple for dark hair or no?
Yeah, I don't remember choosing. I bought it like months ago, and I don't remember what I chose. But I definitely chose the wrong thing.
I do the rose gold for dark hair sometimes because it's just like fun, and then it washes out, and it's like, it's like fun for a bit, and then if you're sick of it, you're over it.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid I would get like a shelf of where the color was again, and I didn't want to do that because that's rough to grow that out.
Well, it still looks cute. I mean, I know it wasn't what you're going for, but it still looks cute. And hi, Heather. I'm Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
Thanks for
nice to meet you. Yeah, absolutely. I just jumped in and started chatting like I'm part of the crew. So I hope
that's what we all do.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Jess started the group. She's the original gangster of this group.
Oh, the OG.
Yeah, the OG.
We all are. That's the thing.
Wait, what's the OG?
Original
gangster.
Duh. Never mind.
I didn't know what it was either, like not that long ago. I'm like, because we have a new Jess at my full-time job. And so everybody's like, oh, you're the OG Jess. I'm like the young and they're like, I was like, what does that mean? And the original gangster the
Gangsta.
Heather, you
Anna.
Good, how are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Hi, Robin.
Hello.
Hi, Robin.
Hi.
Heather, you might recognize some people from Dare to Dream and maybe some people from Team Awesome.
Yeah, good to see people. I'm glad.
Cool. I think Jen should be hopping on. Looks like Kevin's logging back in.
And Deanna, you guys weren't Team Dare to Dream, were you? What?
Yeah.
You were. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we all were. Sue and Christina.
I'm a misfit. I don't know where I'm from. Honestly, I have no idea.
Under Deb for a while.
Yeah. Is that what hers was? Dare to Dream?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I met you. I remember.
Yeah.
It's funny looking at like old summit pictures. Like I just looked at one the other day, and Deanna, you and I are like kind of close to each other. It's just so funny, and because Carol, I got some from back in the day. I think I'm in some of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hi Jen. Hi Lily.
Hi Lily. Happy birthday, Lily.
Yes, happy birthday, Lily.
Let's say happy birthday.
Yes.
Surely you have something better to do for your birthday, right?
I have a bunch of family.
Jazz hands.
Oh, I missed it. Darn it.
Well, Heather, I couldn't seem to find all of your titles.
My titles.
Team Dynamite, and I'm sure you're a multi-diamond elite I apologize. And a
No,
legend.
I'm just a coach here to talk to you. That's all. That's all that I am. That's all that really matters. We're all some sort of coach and family in some way, I feel like. And gosh, things have just changed a lot over the years, but not so much, I think, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So if you do want to tell, like, what rank you are, we're always just.
Sure. Oh yeah, happy to. So
yeah.
I've actually been a coach for 10 years. With lots of things have just, gosh, this business was so different when I started. I always laugh that, and Jen probably knows too, there was only chocolate and greenberry Shakeology. That was it. And greenberry was not reformulated and it was not good. So things have changed so much. But I've done this for 10 years. I am a 6-star diamond. I have hit the Millionaires Club. I'm a Success Club 5 All-Star Legend. I think that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. Hashtag goals for sure.
And just remember as I speak too, it's, 10 years in the making. I only just hit millionaire this year. I say only, but if you think about it that way, it's it's $100,000 a year if you think about it from starting your own business. And I'll just throw the disclaimer in here that Beachbody doesn't guarantee any level of income. It's based on your own diligence and skill, just because we have to do that. I don't want this to go somewhere and then us to get in trouble. So just throwing that out there. One of the things that I am is a rule follower. It's very important to me. So that is why. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell, I guess, in business.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I knew Heather because I've been joining her book club for many years now, and she's always so generous with, sharing her knowledge and the things that her team is doing. And I just have learned so much from you.
That's nice. It's always good when I feel like this business is a shared business. There's always enough success for everybody, and knowledge should be shared. And I also feel like even if I give somebody knowledge, it's always different in your hands. You always take it and do something different with it. That's why I love this business, because I can hear something from somebody, and Kim can hear it from somebody, and we take it and we run completely different directions with the same bit of information. And I love that about the business. That's why there's so many successful coaches, because there's so many different ways to build. And I'm going to talk about building a team tonight. I can jump in whenever you guys are ready. I don't know if you want to know any more about me or if that was good. I don't know if you want to know where I started, where I came from. I'm happy to do that. But I do have just tons to share that I'm excited to do that with. So tell me which way to go.
I think it's always great to hear people's background story. That's what I remember the most. I think usually, like, from the national wake up call, I know this is the very end, that last like 2 minutes, they get like 40 seconds to spill the beans. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
We'll pretend like we're the 300,000 coaches watching your national wake up call presentation.
Yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll just jump right in. And of course, like, I'm happy if you guys have questions at the end. I have something at 6 my time, 9 Eastern, just as a heads up. But otherwise, whatever you guys need from me, I'm happy to do that. But like I said, I've been a coach for 10 years, and I actually started this business after I used Beachbody workouts to help me recover from a car accident. I actually had trouble walking, standing, any of those things, and had done everything under the sun to possibly recover my body. And it wasn't until somebody said, it was kind of off the cusp even, which is so crazy to me. They said, if you strengthen your core, maybe your back and your body might feel better. So I took that and I just latched onto it. And I actually did Turbo Jam, Ab Jam, just the standing portion, because I couldn't get to the floor. I could not get down to the floor. So I had to do the standing portion. I was doing it in like 10-second increments at a time, and slowly but surely built up the strength in my body. And then I was doing the whole standing portion, and then the portion on the floor. And then it was like I was doing Turbo Jam, and I couldn't even believe that I was so different. In fact, I went back to that same person, and they were measuring my strength, and they were like, you were at a negative and now you're in the positives. And they were like, what did you do? And I'm like, well, I took your advice. I strengthened my core. And they were so shocked because they had just thrown it out there as kind of an offhanded comment. But after that, I felt like I got my life back. I was starting to be able to move again and do normal things, and I wasn't in pain 24/7 like I used to be. And All I wanted to do was shout that from the rooftops. And I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know where that outlet could be. And so I followed Shalene and I followed Turbo Jam on Facebook. This was when back just when you had like pages, that's all there were. And I was starting to just talk to everybody there. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this so much. I love this so much. And eventually my coach reached out to me. He was like, did you know that you could pay this forward? And that's all I wanted to do was just tell everybody, like, this is your solution. Like, you can have your life back. Like, that's all I wanted to do. So I signed up as a coach, and I am one of those people that like reads all the rules. So I'm like reading through all the policy and procedures, and I'm like, okay, this is great. I don't have to have inventory in my trunk, try to upload it to people. I don't have to do any of that. So I was super excited that I could just talk to people about this. That's all I wanted. I didn't intend to turn it into a business, not even one little bit. All I wanted was to be more connected. I wanted to be a part of it, and I wanted to shout it out, and this was my way to do that. So I was working as an accountant at the time. It was my first job out of college. Very excited to have an actual like job in my chosen field. And then we found out the CEO of the company was running a Ponzi scheme. And he was taking money from retirees and promising them huge investments in return. Took all their money. And I was an accountant in that company. So I didn't know what was going on. Like, I had my little portion of the balance sheet, this person had this portion, and it was so smart. So if you're ever in a company where none of the accountants know all the pieces, that's a really bad thing, and now I know that. But when it's your first job out of college, you have no idea. That's just how it's done. So I went through a whole period of time when I was actually questioned by the Secret Service, the FBI. It was insane. And I was like, they were still trying to hold this company together, and I left. I was like, I'm done. It's enough. It's enough. And I was applying to jobs around. I was actually lived in New Mexico at the time, applying to jobs all over. And I had friends that had graduated college with me, and they said, Heather, they're not even going to look at your resume because the only job you have on there is this one. So I was like, what do I do now? Like, this is my career. This is my degree. I have no idea. So I had started this business. I hadn't done much with it. I think I had sold one Turbo Jam to a friend. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a breather. I'm going to regroup my life. I'm going to maybe pour into other people for a little bit and figure out what the heck I'm going to do next. But that was in 2010, and I'm still here doing this. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I worked my butt off to do that, but I have not set foot in an office to work again. And it's just been the biggest blessing that we have ever had for me and my family. I've been there for the big important things in my family's life. When both my nieces were born, I just flew out like that and was there that day. My husband he worked at Amazon for many years and got so burnt out. He needed a break, and I was able to provide that for him. He came home and was able to, he actually took 5 years off of work because of this business. And just recently last year, he was like, you know what, I kind of feel like maybe I want to do something again. But he was able to pick and choose exactly where he wanted to work, exactly how he wanted to do it, the team he wanted to be a part of. And it's just, gosh, what a blessing the business has just truly been. So that's where I come from in a very small nutshell. If you ever want to hear more about the wild times, happy to tell you. In fact, this story, if you ever watch, there's this show called, it's called, oh gosh, what's it called? American Greed. I don't know if it's still on, but it was a show on CBS, and it actually, like CBS Money or whatever, but they actually did an episode on the Ponzi scheme that I was a part of. And there's this one part in it where there's somebody, they're like, it's from afar, but I was the receptionist at the time because I was a receptionist there first and then moved into accounting. And I'm like on there like, hi, can I help you? And I'm like, oh my God, like that's my voice, you know? So it's been wild. But what I knew from that was that I did not want my future, my finances, my life in anybody else's hands but my own. And that's one of the reasons why I read through the policy and procedures manual, why ethics and honesty is so important to me, because I felt like for all the years I worked there, I was completely let down. So not that everybody has a bad experience with corporate America or working a job. There's so many amazing companies, of course, but for me, I wanted to do something for myself. I wanted this to be mine and mine alone. And I had to have that control, and I'm just so thankful for it. So The fast way to grow this business, though, is to build a team, which is what I figured out really fast. You know, when we started, there wasn't like training anywhere. The online office was simply a place to look for numbers. That's all you got really was numbers, like there's this many new coaches, there's this volume, that's all there was. So there wasn't really any training. So what I found from the policy and procedures manual was my training. And I realized that if I wanted to build a business and I wanted to build income, which obviously I didn't have a job, I needed it to work that way, I needed to build a team. And so when I was building a team, I was looking around at other coaches that were successful, and I saw that a lot of them had these teams where everybody looked exactly the same. And so at first I thought, oh, okay, so maybe that's how I'm supposed to build a team. Like maybe that's how you're successful, but it didn't feel right to me. And so as I was reaching out to people and talking to them, I noticed that so many of them, they weren't really like me. And so I thought I had built this mismatched team of people that maybe it wasn't going to work because of that. But when I look at the people that are still around today, they're the ones that actually fit into my perfect team description, which I didn't know at the time, but when I look back, it's exactly that. So I realized that, you know, it was actually people coming together that had more in common than they didn't. And I feel like as a human species, that's true of everybody, but I really felt that for my team. They just have more in common than they don't. I wanted the team to be a place where everybody felt like they belonged. And I wanted it to be a place where people led with the heart. And I wanted it to be a place where people wanted to scream it from the rooftops. And I just wanted all of that. And when I look at those the people that are still on my team from 10 years ago, they fit all of the qualities that I wanted. The ones that didn't work out on my team, they didn't fit some or most or maybe all of those things. They're the ones I had to pull. They're the ones I had to convince. They're the ones that I had to be, you know, I was always not doing enough for them. They're the ones that were, you know, just the hardest on me. And they're the ones that I probably was really super upset when they left at the time, because no one wants to see someone leave their team. But now I'm so thankful because it's a lot less stress when you don't have to pull and prod and always live up to someone else's expectations of you when they feel like you're not doing enough for them. And it's because they don't have the qualities I wanted. People that are, you know, people that have gratitude, people that want to also help others feel welcome, people that keep showing up, people that want to try new things, even if they're not going to work out, people that aren't going to complain, you know, those are the ones that I really wanted. And those are the people that are still around today. And that's who I look for today. I'm more picky than I used to be. And I could give you that advice is that if you have to pull someone too hard, if you have to, you know, really convince them, we don't need to be in the convincing business. I feel like we need to really be in the connection business. And if you connect with somebody and you feel that that's the person you want, you don't want the one you have to pull and convince, because I can tell you, you're never going to do enough for them. They're never going to feel like you're doing what they think you should do for them. But with all those qualities that I wanted in my team, I also had to then turn around and make sure that I was being that person that had all those qualities too. You know, I'm not somebody who you're going to find on Beachbody's page complaining about shipping delays. You know, I'm not that person, because I don't want my team to be those people. I'm actually the one that will go first and tell them, hey, you know what, guys, we're going to have some shipping delays. And you know why that's a good thing? Because we have what everybody wants. And when we stop having what everybody wants, that's when we have a problem. But until then, hallelujah for shipping delays, because we have a product that everybody wants their hands on. So I'm that person, because I want my team to be those people too. So they're not in the Beachbody Champions page complaining. They're not in any of those places complaining, because that's not how I run my team. I'm also going to show up. You know, I'm not going to be the one that says, show up and do your list, and then I'm not the one doing that. You know, it really blows my mind sometimes when I see a coach I haven't seen in years, and all of a sudden I see, I'm back, big post like that. And I'm like, well, where have you been? Where have you been? And what have you been doing? Like, I'm not going to do that, because I don't want my team to do that. I want them to show up, even if it's hard, you know, even if it's the very bare minimum, I want them to show up. You know, I'm going to be that person that's always there. And me being that fixture, I think, becomes that positive aspect in their life, because they know I'm there. That's the standard I've set. And it's not that we work 24 hours, 7 days a week. That's not it at all. It's that we just show up. We show up when we say we're going to show up. We're committed to being proof the product works. And we're committed to doing our list at least 5 times a week. I mean, that's it, you know, we're going to show up though. So I wanted to talk about two things aside from, kind of what kind of qualities you want in a team. I think that's important. Like I was talking about, like I have a list in my team page of the qualities that I want on my team. And it's very important to me that we stick to that. And I think you set, as a leader, you set the precedent for that. You get to say, like, this is what I want in my teammates. And then they go out and look for that as well. And then you kind of have this culture that continues along the way. So I think that's important. I think having some good mantras for yourself as you're looking for team members is important. I always think like, I am going to attract business builders to my team, or I'm going to find somebody that has all these qualities that I want in a team member. I'm big into that too, because I think what you put out there comes back, and I really believe in that. It's funny because every Friday I hop on this mastermind with some of the coaches that just really crush this business, and we get to ask questions. And the question asked every single week without fail is, how do you find business building coaches? How do you find working coaches, right? And it's like, of course, everybody wants to know that, right? That's the biggest, secret that we all want to know. There was a time in our business when we actually led with how easy it was to build this business. We led with how easy it was. We led with income. And what happened then is that we actually brought on a lot of people that wanted it to work overnight. We brought in a lot of people that thought they were going to make $1 million in 6 months. We brought on a ton of people that didn't want to work for it because we were talking about how easy it was. So to me, I think this business is very simple. The ideas behind it are simple, but the hard part is that you have to go and do it, and you have to be consistent in it, and you have to show up every day, and you have to get no's, and you have to get objections, and you have to put yourself out there. That part's hard part, sure. So it's not that it's easy, it's simple, but we didn't showcase that at all. We were showcasing, this is how much you can make, and this is how easy it is. And we forgot about the part that's what we're going to attract. So not only did that hurt who we were bringing on, I can tell you anybody that I was really recruiting at that point that had hooked on to that concept, they're not with the business anymore. They're not, because it isn't a quick fix. It's not an overnight success, but what business is? Not a single one, right? But the other thing that did is it kind of took the integrity away from the business, I felt, because that's why other, network marketing companies are getting shut down, because that's exactly what they're leading with. So I feel like we have a leg up because we know that's not the way to do it. So I started showcasing a little bit about the difficulty, not difficulty, but the hard work that it takes in the business. So, I put something about the business in my stories every single day. Whether it's being on a Zoom or working a list or, a one-on-one call or something about my business, because I want people to know that I'm in the business, but I want them to see that I'm showing up every day to work the business. But not just, here's a Zoom, here's a pic of me on a Zoom. Like, why? Why am I on the Zoom? What's special? What, did you hear a motivating story? Was it somebody that inspired you? By who and by what? And how did they inspire you? Did you learn a new skill or a concept? Is it the community part? I've been leaning heavily this year on the community part. Like every, Friday I'm on that Zoom. Every Monday I'm talking to my team. Every, whatever, Wednesday we're doing book club. Like I'm sharing that aspect because the community has been so important, especially this year. So think about how you can share in your stories the business, but then also that you're working hard at it, that it's not just you posting pretty pictures and that's how you're getting a bunch of clients, but really that you're putting in the work too. And then I think as we share that, then we also have to share the good part about the business, right? All the freedom that it gives us and all the amazing things that it's been able to do for us. The freedom that the business has brought is incredible. And so I feel like if you show that there's hard work involved, but then you show that how it's worth it, then that all ties into, for me. And I also think when you share the freedom part, even if they haven't seen the hard work part, they're curious, right? They want to know how you can do all these things that you're doing, and it could be small. I say this as someone who started off by sharing, like, I paid for my groceries this week. I paid the electric bill this week. It's small, it's very small, or it just gave me freedom to have the afternoon off work, whatever it is. And I started sharing those sorts of things, way back a long time ago. So it doesn't have to be big, but you do really have to think about how you're presenting the business as you're posting about it. And then the second part of that is, are you posting about it? I think sometimes we're like, I can't get any coaches to join. And then I look at a social media and I'm like, there's nothing about coaching here at all. There's nothing about the business, and working out, it's an important part of our business. It absolutely is. You have to be a product of the product. You have to be a part of that. But you also have to share that you're doing this as a business, that there's an opportunity here as well. So I think that's the other key too, is that, are you talking about it and how are you talking about it? But once you have a team, I think cultivating the community is just super important. Like I said, I'm not one that's going to not show up. And there have been times, it's a business, it ebbs and flows. There are times when I've shown up and it's been quiet, but I kept showing up. I didn't care if my team call had one person or 30 people. It didn't matter to me because I was going to keep showing up. And I knew that if I kept showing up and I kept recording, that these are going to be, number one, really useful for the future because I can always be a really good pointer, which is something we do in the business. But second thing is that if I kept showing up, people were going to show up. And I feel like that's been really key, is just continuing to be there and continuing to show up. And I think that, especially this year, like I was saying, community has been so vital and so important. We have that, we have that built-in community. I don't know how I would have done this year without it, really and truly, I don't, because, it's been rough, not seeing friends as much and not doing social things as much, but we've had this community. And I feel like even though we've been physically distanced, we're closer than ever in some ways. My team, this is one of our best years ever. And I feel so much of that is from having that really strong community and really cultivating that community. And people run teams all different ways, and I say that for a reason. I say that because there's no right or wrong. You really have to kind of step into your own and figure out what works best for you. But for me, something that really helped was thinking about the fact that everyone on the team serves a purpose. Everyone matters on the team. Everyone makes a difference. And that's whether they're a discount coach who is just the biggest billboard for it, is always commenting in your challenge groups, is feeding volume to you, whether it's a hobby coach who sells a few things here and there, or whether it's that big rock star coach. They all really make a difference. And I know that some teams, I feel like some teams don't necessarily believe that the same way, but I never wanted to be that way because I feel like I have a personal connection to so many on my team. It's a big team, but I still feel like I want to have that connection to them no matter what it is that their goals are in the business. So there's a balance too, though, right? Because you have to make sure everybody knows they feel like somebody, that they are important, that they matter because they do, that they're a part of the team because they are, but then making sure you're not spinning your wheels, trying to pull those that have dug their feet in at their current purpose, right? So I think that that's really super important. So everyone can be in your challenge group. I mean, why not? Why not? They can all be a part of something on your team so that they know that they're a part of it. And then you can spend your time, your personal invested, one-on-one time or small community time on those that are really needing you. They need your brain and your thoughts and your, question answering. And some of the others can be pointed to a training. Not that you're ignoring them, not that you're going to leave them behind, but that they maybe don't need you personally, right? So I think there's that balance while you're cultivating that community and knowing that, hey, you can ask any question you want, but let's do it here in the team page, right? Let's do it here in the team group so we can all answer and all come together, and then save those real personal one-on-one conversations and more of your, brain power and all of that for the ones that are building big, that really need your guidance. I think that that's kind of the real good balance there. And just always making sure that everybody knows that they belong. And then I think look for more opportunities for more community. I think this year has really helped us to become innovative in that way, and it makes me laugh because I think as Beachbody coaches, we were using Zoom before everybody else was. I feel like I had a Zoom account like at inception. I was like, yes, Zoom, this looks great. And so when everybody was hopping on Zooms for the first time this year, it just tickled me because they're all like, how do you use this thing? And I'm like, we're so far ahead because we've used it for so long. But I also feel like we got to be innovative, more workouts all together, more times to just do Zooms like this. We just did sort of like a Black Friday flash sale recently that just brought everybody together. Everybody contributed and it was a great community feel. We watched Summit together, which was funny because I had planned to do one Zoom where we would all watch together, and then everybody loved it so much that they were like, let's do all of them. So we sat at every session for Summit this summer together, and I shared my screen, and we just watched together, and it was just really fun. We weren't together, but we were together. We also are about to launch 9-week Control Freak together. We always do the programs, the very new programs, we do them together. I opened up a Zoom so that it's we call it the virtual desk, but basically anybody can hop on at any time and do their power hour. They post in the group and just say, hey, I'm doing a power hour. Everybody, hops on that needs to, that wants to. So I opened that up for just more community. But, I think that just finding that time where you can be together is super important. And then also what it helps do, I think, is when you have community, then it takes less pressure off of you as a leader. You can be a part of the community too. And I think in the past, a lot of times, I'm not perfect, and I've made so many mistakes, which is kind of beautiful because, as long as you take your mistakes and learn from them. But I feel like, we were kind of led to do things a little differently at times where it was, if you were building this huge business, then you were most important and you got to be part of like the inner circle and all that. And I'm not saying that it's wrong to have a little bit of FOMO, right? But I feel like you also have to make sure that the people that are on their way, that people that maybe haven't figured it out yet, the people that are still, in the trenches, still doing it, they have to feel like they're part of it too. And so for me, a real return to that kind of mentality has been just really beautiful. And then just last thing about building a team I wanted to share is, like I said, never ask them to do what you're not willing to do, and I know I talked about that at the beginning, but I just want to reemphasize it because, sometimes you got to show up when no one else is going to show up. And it's okay. It's okay. I'd rather talk to myself than say I'm not showing up. And I've done that. I've done some team calls over the years where it's just me. That's fine. Who cares? I'm still giving value to them. They still get to watch it later. It's totally fine. But I feel like me always showing up and being a fixture in the business, it sets that example for them. It allows them to know that, this is the precedent for the team. We show up, we're there, we don't disappear for a long time. And I'm not saying we don't take days off, everybody does, but I'm not going to not show up for years. I have showed up, I did 80-day obsession right after wrist surgery because I show up, I have videos of me doing it. I still have my splint on. I'm holding it up like this, still doing the workouts, not because I felt like I need to push myself further, but because I needed to show up for one. And for two, this is part of my life. Like I love these workouts now. I wasn't going to not show up just because I couldn't do one, one arm wasn't okay. Okay, I've got two legs, I've got another arm, I've got my core, I've got my glutes, I'm good, but I feel like you really have to just set that precedent that you're going to show up and the team shows up, and then make everybody feel like they're somebody. So I think that's it. I had so many notes, so I talked fast. Hopefully that's helpful and useful and wasn't too fast.
No, that's awesome. I love how you talk fast.
Yeah, get it done.
Same here. I'm like, let's in and out. Not that I want you to leave, but I totally get that. No, that was great. I thank you so much. That was really helpful. And I know you said you were willing to answer some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you guys
I
have a
have
discussion.
some, but I want to see if others have some questions too.
Go ahead, Jess.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Well, I always do that. I learned as a facilitator at my work, they're like, you have to wait 7 seconds of silence. So I'm always like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Yeah, that's me. I hate silence. I'm like 3 seconds, maybe max. And I'm like, okay. And then I usually fill in the time talking because I hate it.
Yeah, same. So I heard so many things like cultivating your community. I love the positivity that you also bring to your team. It sounds like you really do lead with gratitude. And, I love how you're like not the person in the champions page talking about, shipping, and it just, yes, thank you for not being that person. So I was wondering one thing, some of us are actually going to be doing a push to diamond, which we'll talk about hopefully for a little bit on this call. If not, we're going to open up another call, but I'm wondering, how do you bring how do you find, or how do you work with your coaches? Not find coaches. I know that's a terrible, the most overused question.
I know. No, I hear you though.
People in and like get them to diamond or get them to emerald. Like how do you cultivate that relationship? Like what is your process for getting them to emerald?
Yeah. So what I started doing was changing the focus, and I know I'll promise I'll bring it around to where you're taking, but changing the focus from getting to diamond to getting to 2-star. And the reason I did that was because diamond is great. It's such an awesome place to be. It's a great milestone, but that's not money, and it's not the place to land. I think people land there. So what I did was I started really emphasizing the fact that at 2-star, you're getting a bonus from Beachbody, you're getting to open a second business center, you get all these amazing things by being 2-star, and then diamond is your stepping stone. So along with that, we talk about emerald being just 2 people. I mean, that to me is like, just have to get it done. You know, if you don't have your spouse signed up, then that has to be like #1 goal. You know, one of the first things I did was sign up my husband. He wasn't even my husband at the time. And I was like, you're just going to have to sign up. This is what it is. And don't have to do anything. I just need your social security number, boyfriend that I am dating. I signed him up, and, now we double dip because he's getting Team Cycle bonus. And, I think those things are really important. So I always talk about emerald being just so simple. And then to get to diamond, you're just duplicating emerald over again. That's really all it is. If you can add 2 people, I feel like you can add 4 people. And if you can add 4 people, gosh, you can add 8 people, 4 on each leg. I mean, we're only talking about 12 people to get to diamond, and I think we overcomplicate it. And that was something I started breaking it down in just such a simple way. And then oftentimes what I'll do, and maybe this would be good for you guys too, is to draw out your diamond roadmap, like draw it out. And then I actually, I have this glass board here, and I will draw it out for them, and I'll get on a video and I'll point out like, okay, here's you, here's these 2 people. You only need like these 2 extra people, And I think really seeing it and understanding like, I'm not that far away from it really matters. But it's just emerald, and it's just emerald over again. And then if you do it, gosh, you know how you got to emerald, right? You probably signed your spouse, and then maybe your mom or your best friend or something. Then you can help somebody else do that too, So I think making it more simple, and then really just reminding people that, gosh, diamond's that great stepping stone. You're going to get there, and then you're on to 2-star. Because what happens when people get to diamond 2 is that then they lose it because they work so hard, and then they forget that what got them there. They also have to continue doing those tasks too. And I think that, sometimes we build so fast that it ends up sand instead of that concrete, rock solid, foundation that we really want. So sometimes a little slower is better. But I also feel like getting to emerald should be like a no-brainer. And then after that, it's just doing it again. Even if you were to do emerald and then emerald next month and emerald next month, I mean, you'd be diamond before you even realized it. Instead of thinking like, it's just such this big milestone, it's emerald duplicated.
Mm-hmm. So do you put people under your spouse and your mom? That's what I did to get to diamond. And of course, because those 4 people, those discount coaches I put under my people kind of fell off and I lost track. But is that most people?
I think most people do, but my personal recommendation is, and I say this, I guess it would depend on how you want to build. I wanted to build because I wanted to make money, and I don't mean that in a real, vanity way. I just mean I needed it. I was back against the wall, needed it. And so when I looked at this business, I understood that I needed to get my legs in order first before I ever built somebody else's business. So I actually got to diamond before I even got my husband to emerald, but only because I had people building. And so I built my weak leg up really, really strong, and then started building my strong leg, and then before I knew it, it was diamond. I signed up in March and I lost my job in June, and I was diamond in October. That was kind of how I flipped that. But yeah, I think people, my suggestion, and it's just my suggestion, is build your own legs, build your own business, get your spouse high up in your downline so that volume flows up, of course, or significant other, whoever it is, but then build your own legs and make sure you have a little bit of buffer there before you add to theirs.
Yeah, that's great.
stability. That's what we want. I think
Stability, yes.
yeah, that's for me, that's how I'd like to tell people, because we want it to last. We want it to be stable. I've never lost diamond, you know, because I wanted to make sure I always had that buffer.
Yeah. Great, thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Does anybody have any other questions? Nothing at all?
When you were doing, sorry, when you started your business and you were doing, you were trying to find coaches, how did you start? I don't want to say marketing, but that's the only word that's coming. Marketing, how, like, did you have like a coach mentorship, kind of like how a lot of people do it now? Do you have something like, did you do something like that? Do you have something like that? You know, because I know that we've talked about it and in this little group, but for me, I haven't really gotten to the point of, I guess, having the confidence to do coaching, just because I'm newer, like not brand new, but newer to actually going all in.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
I get that. Yeah,
So-
we have a start date, and then we have a date where we're like, okay, it's time to move. Yeah, I feel you. I get you.
Yeah.
So when I was starting to find coaches, no, I didn't have any sort of coach mentorship, which just maybe proves to you that, gosh, you could build this business no matter what you have at your disposal. But if you do want to do that, I will say that just, you know, whether or not you have something, you do, because the Beachbody Coach Online Office has that great like 4-video series. You can always say that you have this coach mentorship starting on Monday, and, you know, you get people signed up and you take them through those 4 videos. I mean, you know, you can always use what you have. I also feel like we're never going to feel ready or have the confidence to do any of the things that we need to do in this business. So much of my building has been jumping and building those wings on the way down. You know, I mean, so much of it has been that, just because, you know, this business, it really rewards like momentum. It rewards momentum, and it rewards, you know, just diving in and kind of going for it. So my coach, when I signed up, quickly, like, basically disappeared. I have no idea if she even does this anymore. I think she's still signed up, but I have no clue. But the one advice that she gave me was go to Facebook pages and find people to talk to. So that's how I started. And at that point we were just friend requesting everybody. That's how we build. So it's like following people on Instagram. You know, you go and you follow a ton of people on Instagram. And yeah, when you're, you know, marketing, I think that's an okay word for what we're talking about. But yeah, you can always say you have a mentorship starting on Monday, and it can be you taking 1 or 2 people. They don't even need to know how many through the 4 videos in the Coach Online Office. You know, we have so much at our disposal now that that's such a great way to do it. So yeah, hope that's helpful.
It is. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I have one more question around the whole emerald diamond.
Yeah.
What is your process? Like, I don't create things very well in my brain, like overcomplicate everything. So when you're working with a new coach, whether they have potential or not, what is your process, and what's like the conversations that you have with them to get to emerald? Or like, how do you know when it's like, all right, this one's gonna work, or maybe not? Or what do you do with
I have a crystal ball.
Yeah. Oh, the magic 8 balls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I always joke with my team about, because they're like, how did you, it's funny because they'll be like, how did you know this was happening? And I'm like, it's in the online office. I mean, I have my crystal ball, you know. I'm always just joking about that. I wish I could say that like every time somebody stepped up, it was the one that was going to go, you know, crazy and build this crazy big business. One of my actual like top coach on my team, you could call her, started out as a discount coach, was a discount coach for an entire year before she started to move. So you just don't know. But I will say my onboarding process is kind of like this. They get an email from me, and it has a few steps for them. And the steps are simple. They're like, join the team group, you know, make your post that you're a coach, here are examples. And then I have this really simple training, and I actually started to just move to the Coach Online Office one because it's there, but I would just point them to a new coach training and say, watch this, and then let's set up a time. to talk one-on-one, because I want them to do a little bit of something first. Because what I realized, I used to get on the phone with them right away. You know, the moment they signed up, we're setting up a one-on-one call. And it was fine. But what I realized was that they didn't have the questions they really needed to have at that point, because they hadn't really explored any of the information. And so for me, it was me just getting on there and talking, because they didn't have any questions. They didn't even know. So having them go through a little bit of training first really helps to kind of get their wheels turning. And then the questions and the conversation we have after that is much more productive. Because they can talk about things like, well, how do I, answer this message, or how do I, send this invite, or what do I post? And we can kind of go, new coach training kind of goes through all that, but we can kind of get more in depth about it instead of just that. So if they do all those things and they get on a one-on-one call with me, our lasting, like the last thing we're talking about is, okay, we're going to get your spouse or significant other signed up now. And we're going to find somebody else. Like, who do you have that's just in your corner? And we're trying to get that done quickly, because, like I said, this business really favors momentum. And, I think if you can get a new coach a win like that really quickly, even getting their spouse signing up and you shouting them out, like, you sign up a person, it is a really big boost, and it helps them really want to push forward even further, because, this business is really recognition driven too. So that's kind of how I do that. And then from there, the next time if somebody wants to talk to me one-on-one, they got to show me a tracker. They got to show me they're doing something, because otherwise they can send me a tracker and I can probably point out what they're missing. But after that, then we got to talk a little more deeply, and then we got to figure that out. But
Awesome, thank you.
is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing, is like I get stuck in my own head. I have the email, try to do the one-on-one calls, and it's just a process. I think it's just like with, like you said, it's simple.
Yeah.
Fitness and nutrition is simple, yet you have to do it every day. So.
Exactly. And that's been refined over many years. Like I said, I used to hop on, I still remember I got on this one-on-one call it was when I was first new, and she was like maybe one of my first coaches. And I got on this call with her, and I think I talked to her for like an hour, because, I'm new, and why not spend an hour? I answered all her questions, and you know what? 2 days later, she canceled. So here I am calling her, like, I'm like, no way. So I'm like calling her. She won't answer. I'm emailing her, nothing. And I'm like, I just spent an hour on the phone with you. So that's why I feel like if you let them do a little something first, because then it's much more productive than something like that. But there's nothing wrong. I know some people like to get on the phone right away as soon as they sign up, and there's nothing wrong with that either. So you kind of have to find your own groove with things, but that's just been my experience. If they do a little something first, our conversation's more productive.
Great. Thank you.
And then don't be afraid to change it completely up too. Whatever's not working, change it.
Yeah.
I had a quick
All right,
question. Heather.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Kim. Hey, Heather, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. I was wondering, out of your Success Club monthly points, how many are coming from like customers versus coaches? Like, for example, are you signing people up as just new challengers, or are you directing them right to the coaching path? Because I feel like I've lost that mojo, and everyone's just like, sure, buy a challenge pack, and I just let them join a challenge group versus talking to them about this opportunity again.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So I offer, to be honest, I offer the opportunity to everybody that's getting a challenge pack, basically. If they're joining one of our groups, then, one of our biggest recruiting months was when we launched MBF. And I'm not going to say that they're all business building coaches, but there have been a few out of that actually have started, actually making some strides. So that's why I offer it to everybody. But I do still like the path of people getting great results and then becoming coaches. I still love that, because I feel like, just like me, I was a huge fan. I wanted to just shout it out. But as far as points would go, I would probably say 25 come from coaches, 75 from challengers, because I do still love that opportunity of having them go through a challenge group. And even if they're signing up straight as a coach, their first task for me, especially if there's somebody that I know is just for the discount, their first task for me is to get great results from a program. That's what I want them to do, and then dive in. But You know, and some months are different, you know, like the MBF month, obviously that was like most of my points came from coaches for sure. But yeah, I think a good balance, you know, Success Club, I think you have to at least get 2 points from coaches every month. That's always my target for my coaches, because, you know, it used to be to hit Success Club, one of your points had to come from coaches. And I feel like that was a really good path. I feel like that was a good, you know, really good way to do it. So I kind of still try to instill that in people, because you want to keep building. If you don't move forward in this business, as you know, you slide backwards, you know.
Mm. Thank you so much, Heather. It's
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's like yeah, I think you only have 10 minutes to get to your next.
That's plenty of time to fill up my water bottle and pee. That's all you got to do, right? No, you're so welcome. I'm so glad I got to like stay and chat too, because I think that's where the good like questions and conversation comes to.
Yeah, it's so nice to have you on and to listen to your philosophy and stuff. And I think it's you know, you really get that feeling of the culture that you have cultivated with your group. So
Yeah.
I think that's really awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm always happy to help. And if I can help in any other way, like, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to do that. Like I said, this business is a sharing community. You know, it's not one where I have all the knowledge and I'm never going to share it. I'll share it, but my disclaimer is always to try it. And it may not work for you, because that's how the business is. You know, I've taken so many pieces of advice and then implemented them, and I'm like, that didn't work, because that's how it is, but it worked for somebody else. So I feel like if something works really well in your business, never change it until it stops working. But if you have an area where you're struggling, like if you're struggling with finding coaches, maybe take some of this and think about how you can implement it.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for having
You'll
me.
have to give Kim your Instagram information and Facebook information. So
absolutely. I think she's got it.
Cool.
Pass it on, Kim. But if you're missing any of it, let me know. All right, thank you guys. Have a great night. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Kim. That was so great.
That was fun to whoever's idea was to have a guest speaker. That was a great idea. I think it might have been yours, Jess. I like it.
Yeah, it's my friend still ghosted me, but that's okay. Yeah, I think it's really fun just to have just different perspectives, bringing them in and talking and hearing from them. And, you know, and even if any of us want to kind of take the spotlight one week and really share something that they just, you know, that works really well, I think it's a great opportunity to really build those leadership skills and, you know, set you up for the national wake-up call someday when you're going to be down there.
It might be good practice for us to tell our stories or something like that, you know, take 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes or something, just to practice and think about it. And
yeah, definitely. All right, so we've got like not very much time left to go through our agenda. So there are a few more things. We need to just talk about the Bet on You wrap-ups. So we've got that. Does anybody have any questions? Is anybody confused about the end process for our Bet on You challenge? Everybody know they've got till 9 p.m. tomorrow night. They have to have their final to each of the coaches. And then Sue, you get to do the fun part of, well, we're all going to put anybody who hit 4% will be in green, highlight them in green on the tracker so that we'll know how many people we have who hit the 4%. And then Sue will work.
They're going to get a lot of money.
Yeah. It's going to be a chunk of change.
Yeah. I wish it was me.
Right? I'm trying to pull up our agenda real quick, but yeah, so everybody just, if you guys can get that in, I'd say by Wednesday morning, make sure you have all of your weights in for all of your people. But again, give them the deadline of tomorrow night at 9, whatever their time is. I don't care if it's Central Time or Pacific, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, then we can hopefully announce that on like Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday evening and share. I mean, this is a great opportunity to talk about sharing and you know, telling people what this is super cool. Somebody's going to win a lot of money. A couple people are going to be winning probably big chunks of money because for whatever reason, people there, like I have a couple girls I think are going to hit the 4%, but it's like right on the line. So, yeah, well, it'll be really good though. So any more questions with the Bet on You?
Well, I had put in the group that if you wanted to, I could use the December Pixel and Hue group posts in that group for December. Or if you, I don't know if you want to just keep creating each day. Or there can still be a creation each day, like a daily post, and then I can just do these as whatever. But anyway, I'd offered it up, so.
I love offering, and I love anything that makes people's lives easier. I vote yes. If anybody else wants to take a week or whatever.
I have no
Well, I mean, I
idea.
can do it for the whole month.
Yeah, I know. That's fantastic.
What are the posts like, Deanna? Because I don't think I even know what this service is.
Well, Christina uses it too. They're done by some top coaches, and so each day is a little bit obviously different. Like I was just trying to think of some examples. Like there's usually, like right now we're in a gratitude month, so they gave a bod calendar, they give a gratitude calendar, and then each day has something tying in with gratitude, your workouts. There's not very much nutrition stuff in it. You get a recipe ebook,
Okay.
but there's not, you know what I mean? So it's mostly kind of motivational in different areas. So either getting your life together, getting your fitness together, any of those types of things. And they're pretty thought out and good. I mean, good. And the pictures are all super pretty.
Okay, cool.
Are they like check-in posts? Would we still do the check-in post, or they like?
So you would still have like a check-in post for people to just do their stream of workout type stuff. And that's what those pictures that you've been using, that's from my November group.
Okay.
So it would be like that, where basically, and you don't necessarily have to put up there anything that's really content. It's more just to kind of drop you a sweaty selfie kind of thing. And then these are more like the daily thoughtful posts.
Okay.
And I'll put some examples in our group so you can see them.
No, I think that's great. And we could maybe weave in some nutrition stuff, like some recipes or some keep up with Shakeology recipes here and there, and like the holiday stuff. So I think that'll be great.
I was going to suggest that, Jen. That sounds like a something we could weave in with the different recipes or 2B Mindset or UPF within those posts.
Yep. Sounds good.
Okay,
Awesome.
cool.
And I think, Kim, you mentioned too, just a reminder that you guys can add people to the Bet on You group. It's no longer you have to be paid into the group starting tomorrow. But yeah, if we can add people today, it's fine too. But
yeah, that one we'll start adding is tomorrow.
I mean, I think just let people know that they might see some posts about, this Bet on You, this health bet type thing that we did. So
I was figuring when we did our Here Are Winners post that I would start saying, and you can join our group on Monday, but just
that's great
for new people, but we can do it add people anytime, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Changing the name as well.
I think we talked about, what did we say, like Beyond Bet on You or Bet on You something?
Oh, Bet on You and Beyond. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever works. We can change the name. I think, Kim, you said something about squats and.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was just for a mini challenge.
I just used it for my event. I was talking to Kim earlier, Dan. I'm like, can I use that name for my event? It's eat, squat, and be merry.
Eat, squat, and be merry.
I'd use it a week in December to like do this many squats a day for 5 days, and then I'd give a prize at the end or something.
I think it's a cool name in general, even if it's not a squat challenge, because it's based upon like the holidays and the rest of the year and fitness. So maybe we should just roll with that. I think it's cute.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to just rename the group. Like totally.
Yeah.
Like
totally rename it.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
I agree.
This is our business. Do it.
Yeah.
I stole it off a t-shirt, so I didn't make that up.
Oh, that can be fun. New t-shirts. No, that's cute. I like it. Do we all have admin? Like Jen, do you want to change it? I feel like who created the group? Did I don't know. Someone will probably have to change it. I don't mind being that person. I think an admin has to.
The Facebook name in the header, you mean?
Mm-hmm. We'll look at that later. We can figure these out. All right, so we've got, let's talk while we have just we don't have hardly any time left. The push to diamond group. So this can be push to diamond or push to emerald, whatever you want to call it, but I say 10x it. Push to 2-star is what I heard on our call tonight. So who does, and you don't, I think everybody should participate because I think it'd be a great opportunity and a learning experience. But if anybody doesn't want to participate, you obviously don't have to. But I think what some of us have been talking about in a message chat is really kind of creating that pool of let's push each other, let's work with each other, get some inspiration rolling, and really start doing getting out of our comfort zone. My boss actually just sent me this book called One Line a Day, and it's literally you write down something every single day that you do that pushes you outside of your comfort zone. And that was the note. She said, do one thing a day that scares the hell out of you. And I love it. And I think it's so important. And I think this is going to be, it's going to be different for a lot of us. It's going to be, as Heather was talking, it's doing the things, creating a team, cultivating. I think sometimes the hardest part is figuring out what exactly do you want in a team? Like, what kind of coach do you want to be? And so keeping that in our minds as we really do start building a team. I know I'm excited. I'm ready to take this way beyond 2-star. I just don't know exactly what the hell I'm doing. So yeah, anyway, is everybody interested? Everybody interested in participating? Oh, do your reaction. You can raise your hand.
Where's the reaction?
Clap. Never mind. Let's do this one. Or yeah. Oh.
Don't flip people off like Kim was talking. Oh, Jen's flipping us off. Jeez.
Oh, that's right. Of yours. Thanks. Oh, that's funny. All right, so I think we should post this in the Made for More page, talk about who's interested, and tag all of our coaches. If you don't have any coaches, that's totally okay because you're going to get some coaches, whether it be your husband or your mom or your boyfriend. As Heather said, she started with her boyfriend. You have kids over the age of 18, you can sign up with them. I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding, but I'm kind of kidding. Anyway, all right, let's roll with it. Jen, do you have anything else you want to share? I know you have some content from some past groups.
I have some content. A lot of my stuff got erased when I ran out of storage and things were deleted, but I have some things and I will definitely help out as much as I can. I mean, when I got to Diamond, I did it in 5 months, kind of like Heather. I did it exactly the same way. So much of what she said over the past 10 years from her beginning and my beginning are a lot alike. I have a different story, obviously, and I continued working my full-time job, and she was doing it more to push for this business as her full-time income. But I still could relate to so much she was saying. And so, yeah, I think we should do push to star diamond, period. I think, skip over the diamond aspect because diamond is really in your control, obviously, but beyond that, you just got to keep your mind going as far as building emeralds so that your diamond stays strong, first of all, and you don't lose it. And then you have those emeralds learn the same thing and keep building. So yeah, push to star diamond. We should definitely do it. We all have the roadmaps. We can do working groups if you want. Mm-hmm. Like we could do like one night, fill out the diamond, let's everybody look in your back office, see who you have. If you don't have anyone at all, plan your dream team. Like that's kind of how I started. So we can do little working groups. I don't know if you want to use Monday night as that, or maybe we break up our call to like the first 30 minutes as a team call, the second 30 minute you stay on if you want to do the push to star diamond. That could be an idea. I know a lot of people have calls on their plate.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's definitely something to think about. I know it's hard for me too. And I know like with Danny, you've got your nutrition call. Probably be hard for me to get on another call. I mean,
yeah.
I might be able to do pop-up stuff during the daytime, like even like a lunch hour
Yep.
or something. But
Yep.
but I'm happy to go with the team. Like whatever works for the majority is definitely the way to go. But yeah, I don't know, Christina, do you have any content on like Diamond, Star Diamond? You know, like Jen had put up a post in our chat. It was really, you know, really detailed about here's what you're going to do. This like really action oriented. Like this is what you're going to work on. I don't know if you have anything either.
Actually, as she was talking, I think I have some past content, and I was going to see if I have that on an older flash drive. So I'll look and see if I still have that.
Awesome.
I might even have a Facebook group that I never completely shut down because I thought, let me leave this open just in case I ever want to go back. So let me search through my groups too. I could delete out people and add you guys and we get started.
Right.
I
That's a good idea though, because I know I've been a part of Push to Diamond groups in the past.
Yep.
Do the same.
Well, and I would guess that Platinum Presenters probably has something on their site too.
Yeah.
If we want, you know what I mean? They may even have like some content available.
Yeah, I think that's where I might have gotten it.
I have to
before.
go. I have to go eat.
Very happy
Let's take a picture. Did you say you have to go eat? I'm so sorry. Okay. Let's take a picture. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, hold on. Can you like 2 seconds? Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lily. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank
Please
you.
eat cake.
Thank you.
Sweet cake, Lily.
All right. I
All right,
will.
have a good night, Lily.
Bye.
Good night. Bye. Bye.
I didn't realize Zoom calls were so delayed. I would not recommend singing happy birthday on Zoom. Just
No.
work very well. Okay, so all right, so let's continue talking in our Made for More page about Push to Star Diamond. Let's get the ball rolling on that. We can set aside some time next Monday to talk to. Really quickly, Coach Gift Swap. Kim, you want to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to remind everybody I was gonna to sign up. If you haven't signed up already, I was gonna close it out tomorrow just so that I could assign people on Wednesday so that they could buy gifts on Black Friday if they wanted. And I thought it would be fun to open it like you guys suggested on a Zoom call on I'll call on Monday, the 21st of December, if that worked for people.
Where is the list?
It's in, let's see. I'll move it back up. Robin, I will send it to you or I will tag you in it.
Okay.
It's a Google document.
Oh, okay. I couldn't
But
find it.
if you send me your email, I can just email it to you or give you access through your email.
Okay.
The other way. If you message me or type it someplace and tag me, I can send it to you that way.
Okay.
But anybody too, if you're not on or if one of your coaches wants to join and they haven't done it, just try to do it by tomorrow because Wednesday I want to blindly figure that out.
Awesome. Thanks for doing that, Kim. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, no, that's my pleasure.
Okay, and then we also talked about a 9-week Control Freak info group. Does anybody want to? Do people still want to do that? I know we had talked about, opening it up for people just to share some information since 9-week Control Freak is a little more complicated than some of our other programs, just with the equipment and stuff, if people are interested in that.
I mean, I think it's a good idea if we have a kind of like a recruitment enrollment Facebook group where we share information and we can share the progress shots and videos and stuff about equipment and dates and things like that, just to build excitement and buzz. And then that saves all of us from doing it individually.
Mm-hmm. So you want to do a group or an event group, right? A group?
Well, it'd be a group so that like people are actually in it. Because I'm not sure with events, even if you're like, say you're going, how much you see the content.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I don't really understand
How
much
much
how
of it.
that translates. So it'd probably be
Yeah, I
better
don't
to do a group.
And a group, and this group, an event you can only keep open for 2 weeks, then I think we might keep this open for a little bit longer than that.
Okay.
But last time I had an event, people didn't get the content, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay. And
I
then
can take the lead on that and set up the group and get the content scheduled. And I've been wanting to check out one of those done for you provider people.
Excellent.
And
You has a really pretty
I
one.
think there's
And we
yeah, I
can
think
feel
there's
free.
quite a few of them
Yeah.
out there that are cool to use for help in doing those posts. So yeah, we'll take that.
cool. Yeah, and I
Awesome.
think they said the sample workout will be next Monday, right? Is that what you guys said?
That sounds right. It's usually at least a week before.
It's
So
a
probably.
it's a first look. It's not a sample workout, remember.
Oh, okay.
And we would explain that in our group because people
Right,
might
thank you.
expect that it's actually, yeah. I mean, we don't know exactly what it's going to be, but
Right.
they said it's not a sample workout. So
Okay,
we'll
well, I
see.
guess
She's
because
been doing a
It'll be
lot on
exciting.
Instagram too.
yeah.
Yeah, she's been doing some moves and scaring us because it looks like it's going to be a doozy.
I'm gonna modify the modifier.
Some of the moves look like fun though.
Just
Yeah,
call me.
no,
Kat.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for taking the lead on that, Carol. Anything else? I mean, we didn't do any ends,
I think I'm gonna use my husband's total gym to do that.
you could.
Probably could.
Yeah, I think you could. Definitely. Does anybody want to share any wins really quickly? Wrap up the call.
I signed up another customer this week
Yay!
for a challenge pack.
That's awesome.
I got one more, and I might be
Okay.
signing up my husband just so I can hit Success Club this month.
Yeah,
For you.
So
that's awesome.
I'll probably have to sign him up as a coach so I can have that and do what Heather was talking about. My mom wants to sign up as a coach, and I can sign him up as a coach, so that hits that.
Yeah. Look
And
at
then
you,
just go
Emerald.
from
That's
there.
awesome.
Definitely.
Very cool. I did sign up a couple people this week. It's been a really good week.
Yay.
See, using the Success Club tracker really does work. I mean, I wish it didn't, but it really does. It's so irritating. But I've been doing those power hours. I know Melanie, she and I have been on some of those noon hour power hours with platinum presenters, and they're great because you don't just get people telling you to do the things. It's like, here's some tips about how I do it, and just really good content really. So you're almost getting a team call while you're doing the work. So they're really great. Definitely recommend them.
I was on one of them this morning, and it was Micah Folsom, who was the host, and she shared her slides. So I have all of her slides if you guys want her slides from today's call. I got more done. I try and get on at least 3 to 4 times a week on these power hours, and I have invited more people this month just because I've been doing power hours, and I have since I started in August. And it's forcing me to get out of my comfort zone, and that's how I signed another person up to this week. So those power hours, they help a lot, especially when they're more relatable to yourself. So they help a lot. But I can send you guys those slides if you want them from Micah. They're really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Put them in case you can put them in the Made for More page. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll do that today. I'll do that this week.
All right. Anybody else have some wins they want to share? Doesn't have to be work related. Anybody? Hey, you showed up tonight.
Yeah, the fact that we're all here on Thanksgiving week. There we go.
Yeah.
That's a good
Is
one.
it your husband's birthday?
And it's my husband's birthday.
Yeah, see? High five to you.
We did a little bit before the call, and we're going to do a little bit
Right.
after. So
Nice. Wish him a happy birthday for us.
Yeah.
okay, I will.
Tell him we'd
Thanks.
sing for him, but he
Yeah.
doesn't want to hear us sing.
You can just play the recording when we say Lily.
Right. Okay.
It'll work.
Hey, you
All right,
guys,
guys.
I won't be on in the morning, just so you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Visit.
Yes, definitely. All right.
Okay.
We'll see you Wednesday.
Okay, thanks.
All right, everybody. Well, let's have lots of stuff to do. Stop talking. We will see you guys next week. I'll be on Deanna's nutrition call on Thursday. So.
No call today. This
Oh, no
week.
Oh, yeah, it's Thanksgiving. We're all gonna be.
I mean, we could, but
We're gonna be pants.
I mean, I might be a little bit drunk. Would that be fun?
Sure.
Well, I think that would be very entertaining.
That might make it more interesting.
All right, so next week, we'll be on next week.
Next week.
We'll see you guys. Have a great one. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.